Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of building shit in Fallout 4 with your host Cordless VII. That's me. I'm Cordless, and okay, wait. I don't know where to go from here. This was way too big of an intro. Way too big for an intro. It seemed right in my head, but when I actually did it, it kind of stopped seeming right. So. Welcome to the video. Alright, so I'm back in Good Neighbor to show off my Institute Hideout build that's completely decorated and finished. This is for the August build challenge that I'm hosting in my Discord server. If you haven't seen the build video of this, the link to it will be in the description. But basically, I created an interior cell in the creation kit and put the door to it right here on this building. And a lot of people let me know in the comments that the Neon Flats Creation Club mod pretty much does the same thing. It utilizes this building. But I'll talk more about my plans of turning this build into a mod in just a little bit. In the last video, this area was a little bit different. I had a brick wall here that was actually a hidden door that led to another area that had tools and other things that didn't really make a lot of sense to be hiding. It was just a staging area that had another secret door that led to an elevator. So someone left a comment pointing out how this didn't make sense, especially if someone were to follow me into this building. And they suggested that I should basically turn it into a house or like a fake living quarters. So if anyone were to come in here, they would see, okay, this is just where that guy lives. And that's exactly what I did. So I took out that brick wall, put in this door, and basically made a fake hideout, which makes way more sense than what I had before. So thank you so much for the suggestion. It really made this build look a lot better. So thank you. And keep the suggestions coming. I always read the comments and they're usually pretty great. Usually. Oh, let's be honest, it's still the internet. Oh, right, the tour. I'm supposed to be talking about this stuff. So, yeah, this is basically just a fake area. I don't actually live here. It's just a way to hide this door. Yeah, I still got this. And by the way, a lot of people ask me where I got this door from. It's from Zabrina's Workshop Devices. That mod is incredible. It has a lot of secret doors like this and buttons like this that will generate power and all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely check that mod out. It's really awesome. So I added in a few more floors. It's not just the 6th floor anymore. I needed space to implement a few more ideas that I had, but we'll start with the 6th floor and just go from there. I'll actually give you a peek of what these rooms might have, what is it? What is that? I guess we'll have to find out. So starting off up here on the 6th floor, this is the main area. So this is where the lab is. And of course, it's the Institute, so I have to have the surveillance monitors and, like a big map to keep tabs on everything that's going on outside. But it's actually kind of funny because the Institute is surveilling me with their camera. So it's like a circle of surveilling. Like, no one is safe from the surveillance. Surveillance. Surveillance never changes. Okay, I'm losing my mind. All right, so this is the bioscience area. It's where I do a lot of research on all the crazy shit going on out there in the wasteland. Like all the mutants and the mutations and all that, and then I just report my findings back to the Institute. That's what this whole room is for. And this room is the hydroponics room. I always want to say hydroponics. Doesn't that sound better than hydroponics? Like hydroponics sounds like I'm saying it wrong, but no, that's the correct way to say it. But plants. Okay, I'm doing plants in that room. This is the plant room where I'm just growing stuff and reporting all that back. It's nice. I think it's still very aesthetically pleasing in there. And in here is the teleportation room. And I laugh at this room every time because there's so much going on. It's like so much, but it looks so cool. I still love the way that it looks. Now after the tour, I am going to point out a couple of things that I did as far as the decorations go, like this room especially. I want to point out a couple of things that I did to kind of help out and make things look a little bit better. So stick around for that. But basically, you type in where you want to go in that terminal, and then this is the teleportation room, and it takes you there. You just hit this button, and I know this button is not on theme. It's very dirty or whatever, but who doesn't like pushing a big red button, right? So I had to include it in there. And down the hall is the penthouse. This is the living area, and I did a couple of things to keep it visually on theme with the Institute, because I know that the Noir penthouse is on theme as far as this was the Courser's penthouse. But to me, visually, this does not scream Institute at all. So to help with that, I placed this clock right there. So as soon as you walk in, you see that clock, and along with this door and the floor mat, I think that helps tie in the rest of the build. So I got the kitchen over here, which I finally got to use this rug. I'm very happy. I haven't got to use this rug before, but I think it looks great. And I also have like a breakfast nook over here that I'm very jealous of. I'm actually very jealous of this entire build. Every time I build with these pieces, I just want to live here, you know? It's just one of those things. But this whole living room area was decorated very similar to the actual penthouse that we get from the Creation Club mod. I just added in my own changes here and there, like this pool table. I feel like it looks really good right there in front of the window, you know, with the chairs off to the side and the tables. I want one in my house. But for now, I'll just live vicariously through my Fallout character, whatever. But in here is the office, and I love the magazine rack along with the bobblehead rack. I think that looks great. I got those pieces from a mod called HZS Easy Home Builder, and I love using them because it's just different from shelves filled with clutter, you know, just something different on the wall. And I like using these curtains here instead of a doorway. It just kind of sections off that room. It looks really cool. Same thing over here by the bedroom. I put these here instead of a door because I think it looks a little bit nicer, you know, it's a little fancier, and it kind of goes with the whole theme of this penthouse kind of vibe, you know? But over here is my disguise for whenever I go out into Good Neighbor, so I can blend in with everybody else. And as far as the decorations go, I didn't want to do too much in here, or this whole penthouse, because the walls and the textures already make it stand out. So you want the decorations to sort of blend in and complement the theme and not overclutter it. And oh, I almost forgot the bathroom. Hang on. See, I didn't forget adding a bathroom, so my player is well taken care of. He even has a laundry room right here. Oh, never mind the red light emitting from the floor. That's from the floor below. So don't worry about it. Actually, let's go take a look at it. Let's see what's going on down there. All right, so first, with this whole build that I've shown you so far, it's all very... how can I say? It's like vanilla, right? It's too goody two-shoes. Like, he just comes in here and he does his job, and then he goes into the penthouse and just lives his life. But with the Institute, there's always something lurking in the background, right? There's something going on behind the scenes. So having that idea in mind, I built this. Oh, hang on, don't look. Let me fix the door. Hang on 1 second. Don't look. Don't look. Okay, hang on. Okay.
Confirmed.
Let's try this again.
6th floor.
So with that in mind, having that idea in mind, I built this room and made it look as eerie as possible with all the red lights and everything. But basically, these are holding cells. So whenever he comes across someone that he thinks is a synth, like a runaway synth, he'll bring them back in here and keep them in these holding cells, and then he'll bring them into this scary looking room back here and just see if he's right. Just wants to confirm that hunch by any means necessary to see if they actually are synths. And I will say this, 99% of the time, they are. So he'll just deactivate them or do whatever he needs to do, and then sends them back to the Institute to be reprogrammed, or however that works. I don't make the rules, I just built the place. And now for the last room that I added. So I basically wanted him to have his own suit of power armor in case something goes down, some kind of emergency. And that's what this room is for. I was trying to make it look as dramatic as possible, and I think it came out pretty well. It looks pretty cool, especially with like this laser door and the monitors behind him. But yeah, so this is just where if there's some sort of emergency, he does have his own suit of power armor that he can get into and take care of whatever he needs to take care of. Alright, so I'm not going to go over every single thing about decorating this place, but I wanted to point out at least 2 or 3 things to you that might help you when it comes to decorating your builds. Now this one might be kind of obvious, but if you're trying to use a wall that's a secret door, it's best to have stuff on the wall to at least expose it. You don't want it to be completely open, so that's why I have these naval signal flags here. So let me just store the parameters, that way I can just pop it right back to place everywhere. And you see how the wall is like completely exposed and it draws your eye to it, especially with the other walls that have clutter all over them. So this is like, well, why isn't there clutter over there? It just kind of makes you look that way, and with it being a wall that is a secret door, you want it to blend in as much as possible. And I can't put a sign on there because if I do, the door will animate and the sign will stay put and won't animate with the door. So what I've found that works best is having something that kind of hangs over the wall, and that's why I use these signal flags. If I hit 0 on the keyboard, it will pop them back to where they were with Place Everywhere. It's a great mod for stuff like that. But you see how it blends in with the rest of the build. Like, I don't look at that wall anymore. It's just all kind of one piece. And the best thing about it is that they're positioned in a way to where I can walk through them and get through the door. Because there are some stuff that will block you from getting in, so you have to be careful with that too. Now when it comes to decorating the Institute stuff, I used to have a really hard time figuring out the best way to do it because I'm just so used to like cluttering things up and having that scrappy post-apocalyptic kind of vibe. And with the Institute, it's a different a completely different way of decorating. So, and this is a good example. So you see how I'm using this rug underneath the container here? It looks fine without the rug. You can see, I mean, it looks all right. It looks like it might be clipping into the floor, but it's okay. But adding in this rug, that yellow outline around it, it makes it look more intentional, as if it's already there on the floor and it's all kind of one piece and not just a bunch of floor pieces snapped together with a container slapped on top of it. And that's kind of what I mean. You're more so decorating the structure and not so much worried about, you know, the decorations themselves, because the furniture looks good. Just put a table over there, a chair over there, and you're fine. And in here is another good example. So this is actually the cargo platform thing. I don't know what it's for, but this is how the floor looked when I first built it. It's just a white floor with a table on top of it with maybe a rug or two, and it looks fine, but we're not going for fine. We're going for holy shit, that looks awesome, man. Nice work. Did Bethesda build that? I can't tell. That's what we're going for, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. But you see how it adds another level or another layer to that floor to where it looks intentional. It looks like, okay, it's not just like a white floor snapped together. It looks like it was meant to be, it's all one piece and it was supposed to be that way. All right, last example, and then I'm going to move on from this point. So I think the room looks good without these walls here, but I think they make it look a little bit better and a little bit more put together. So I put the light walls behind it to give it that shine coming out from underneath them. And the railing is what makes it for me. So without this, it looks like the glass wall is kind of, you know, clipping into the floor. It doesn't look natural to me. So having this railing here, it just gives it that definitive line on the bottom right there that just kind of takes away from that look and makes it look more put together. And all of that has helped me realize that with the Institute kind of builds, or even just clean pre-war builds, it's more so about the structure itself and not so much about the clutter and the decorations and the furniture. All of that just complements the structure. It's the opposite of building like a scrappy wooden shack. Like the shack can look like crap, but if you have the right decorations and right clutter in there, it can look really, really good. Now the last thing that I want to talk about is the damn teleporting room. So I placed this platform down first, and then this like beam emitter thing, whatever this is, this snaps to it. And what I had to do was basically use place everywhere to scale it down. So if I hit 1, it scales down whatever you want, and if you hit 3, it scales it back up. So that's how I got the beam emitter in there. I just scaled it down a little bit and it snapped to the platform. And then everything else is really not that much stuff. These memory banks take up the majority of the space. And by the way, I got all this stuff from SOE. So you'll find these and like all the Institute pieces that you see, I got it from SOE. It's a great mod, you should totally check it out. But if I remove that memory bank, you can see the wall and the floor, it's all pretty empty. If I remove this one too, you can see there's not a lot going on there. These just take up the majority of the space. So I have the memory banks on both sides, and then I use these machines to cover up that back wall. And I got these again from SOE, and they're great for filling up space. So I use 2 on that side, 2 back behind there, and 2 over here. And that's just to cover up that back wall and make it look a little bit fuller in here than it really is. But that is pretty much it for the build. Now, other than this interior cell that I'm in, everything else was built in the game. So to make this a mod, I would basically have to rebuild everything in the creation kit. I'm still waiting for the tool that will convert in-game builds to builds in the creation kit. So hopefully that will come out soon and I'll be able to share my builds with you guys. But please let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to join in on this Institute challenge, the last day to submit an entry is tomorrow. So be sure to join my Discord server. The link will be in the description and share your entries there. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.